Okay, so we just got done reviewing an awesome action figure of this unannounced, at least for me, this unheard of wave of the Dimension X subline for the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. The figure was so freaking incredible. I mean, I just praised it all around. Had nitpicks. That's usual. That's to be expected. But hey, nitpicks are just something that could have been improved, but that does not count against the figure in any way possible. April O'Neil is a must-buy, definitely. That being said, it's time to move on to the next figure, which is none other than Casey Jones. So Robug, we will review tomorrow. That said, though, where April O'Neil was quite the hit, I mean, high props to Playmates Toys. Casey Jones, on the other hand, looks like it's about to be a step in the wrong direction for Playmates Toys. That said, here's why. The prototype figure looks a hell of a lot better than the actual figure that is shown here. The head sculpt is really lacking in paint job, unlike April. I mean, this head sculpt is kind of crappy in a way. It's not the same head sculpt as the other released Casey Jones figure from not that long ago, but it's good for what it is, I guess, but this figure is lacking some accessories, and it looks like he's lacking some articulation when compared to the other Casey Jones figure, which we'll get to in just a moment. But enough of looking at the front of the packaging. If you didn't realize that's what we were doing right now, well then, that just skipped you, didn't it? Let's go to the back and take a look at Casey's bio, because we don't need to see the bio on the top. We already know what's going down for this season. So there you go. Here's a nice look at the prototype figure, which looks awesome. I gotta be honest, the prototype figure looks awesome. I love the colors, I love the battle damage, I love the head sculpt. And that's what really gets to me about this figure already. It's that this is nowhere near compared to what was revealed on the back of this card back. But that being said, we will judge the figure for himself once we take him out of the package. So enough wasting time. Stick around, my friends. I'll be right back. Alright, there's Casey Jones in his space outfit out of packaging. And you know what? That's pretty much going to do it for this video review. So if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave it down below in the comments section. Why am I in the review so soon? Well, okay, is that supposed to be one of the questions in the comments section? Or are you just asking me right now? Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you why I feel like the review should just end here. Because honest to God, there's no reason to pick up this figure. Alright? Everything that I have said, everything that I have badmouthed about the recent release Casey Jones figure, not talking about this one, I'm talking about the one that came with the Slamboni. This figure seems to get wrong. I mean, this figure is far worse than that figure. The detail on this figure is top notch, it really is. But that is a department for any toy company that should never be amiss. Never. I mean, if the detail is not good, then the figure overall should never be made, right? I mean, let's just get that out of the way. We should never even judge detail on an action figure because it's just pointless at this point. There is no figure out there that does not have good detail. If there is, let me know, okay? As far as I'm concerned, that is something that should not even exist as a judgment on a gallery of an action figure, okay? Point being, detail is perfect. Paint job is okay, but it's kind of questioning considering that, hey, what the heck went wrong? Look at what we got here for the prototype. Look at that face. I want you to look at that face. I want you to look at all the detail going on here when it comes to the paint job. Not the detail of the suit or the figure itself, not the molding. No, I'm talking about the detail of the paint job. We got red here, and he's got pink here. We got gold and some silver here, and some actual paint jobs on the buttons for the control pad. Yeah, look at that. That's just plain gold. That's all it is. I mean, it's a nice gold. It really is. Kind of shiny in a way, so it's okay, but it's not anything to really brag about. It's just... It's the paint job, the choices on here are just questioning. I mean, is he supporting some kind of breast cancer thing here. I don't know. I don't know. I botched that joke. I mean, I really had that written down, and apparently I just really messed that one up. My apologies. Yeah. That's going to come back and bite me in the ass, I'm sure of it. So, again, yeah, that's on me. But, yeah, I mean, this figure just really went wrong. I want you to look at the face. And look how much of the face is actually revealed on the prototype. You can't really see Casey Jones for shit with this one. I mean, it's in there. It's a nice sculpt. It really is a really good sculpt. It's a better sculpt than the previously released Slamboni figure, which is nothing more than a retool of the original Casey Jones figure. By retool, I mean just a simple head swap. I mean, look at that. Here's the original Casey Jones, the one we got, the first Casey Jones of this Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. This is the only other Casey Jones figure out there, minus this new release one that, just in all honesty, isn't as good as this one right here, and that's unfortunate. It really is. This figure has articulation. This figure has limited articulation. This figure has accessories. This figure comes with no accessories unless you count his helmet, which we'll look at right now. Get out of the picture, please. So, here's the helmet. And I will admit, it is nicely detailed. Again, I shouldn't be saying that. Detail is perfect on any figure, really. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. But look at the attention to detail right here. It's got some battle damage. It's cracked. It's cracked. That is not a molding issue right there. Every Casey Jones figure that I saw had this same area right here that looks like it's been beaten up. I mean, it looks like that this piece here, this visor piece, is ready to just break. And, that would cause a really major inconvenience for Casey Jones if he were out in space. But hey, it's a nice attention to detail. And it pops on very easily. And, there's no gaps in the helmet, so that's nice. I really do like that because I made a crack about April O'Neil in the last review, that huge gap underneath, but, I digress. It is good for what it is, and it is pretty tight, and it is kind of a bitch to take off. I will be honest about that, too, and it is kind of, the paint chipping because of, how tight it is trying to get it off, but oh well. But other than that, let's get to the articulation on this figure. It's a swivel head, unfortunately, because the neck and the head is one single molded piece. There's no ball joint, so oh well. Ball jointed shoulders, any direction they can get to if they're not hindered because of his shoulder bits right here. Which are nice shoulder bits, I'll be honest. There's a 90 degrees pivoting joint to his elbow. But there's no rotation whatsoever here. And there's no wrist swivel. No wrist swivel whatsoever for either arm. Waist rotation, just like April O'Neil. That's a nice touch. I was not expecting that. Legs are ball jointed. They go up about that much. They go back not much. They do not go in and out because of the way that the peg joints are assembled, going straight up in the figures. So, the only way to get it to go in and out is to actually turn it. Like, the original Marvel Legend figures that Hasbro released, which, ain't that big of a deal. Single jointed, 90 degrees, knees, and, that's it. That's really it. There's no rotation at the knee. There's no way to rotate the feet. There's no ankle pivot. There's nothing. That's it. So outside of that, that's all you're going to get out of the figure when it comes to moving him at the legs, because there's some hindrance here. And, overall, I really can't say too much praises about this figure like I did with April O'Neil, but I will say one thing, okay? Okay, here's one little credit that I will give this figure, and that's scale. Look at these two next to each other. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Casey Jones is in scale with April O'Neil the same way that they are in scale with each other in the cartoon. I love that, okay? You got that. There's your point there, Playmates. But this figure, on the other hand, should have been designed the same way as the prototype because it is very lackluster. And I mean lackluster. Oh, and by the way, did I also mention that, yeah, his arms are hollow? Yeah, his arms are hollow. What is the deal with this? Okay, unless there was supposed to be like some kind of accessory that he was supposed to come with that would pop into the back of his arms to hide this, but to give him some nice cool like armor hands or something, which he's pretty much got right here anyway. I don't know what's going on here. Why are these hollow, okay? You couldn't fit the budget. You really had to cheap out and just make hollow arms. You had to pull a Hasbro here with Transformers. Ooh, burned. No. No, there's no excuse about it whatsoever. No excuse. And you know what? I can't say anything else about this figure. And this piece sticking out is kind of a soreness to my eyes. But hey, I guess it's there in the show, so not really much to complain about. But, I mean, where is the love on this figure? Where is the love for Casey Jones? For crying out loud, I mean, look. Since the original release, which was a pretty good figure for its time, the only other figure we got is this one, which is nothing more than just a simple retool. And then we got this one that's a laughing joke when compared to the retool or the original mold. Honest to God, Playmates Toys shows Casey Jones some respect. He is a main character and a main attraction to the TMNT series, period. He's the one that should be getting the really cool figures. He should have multiple points of articulation, but he's got nothing really to show for himself. No accessories, even though he's got open hands. I guess you could take the hockey stick or the baseball bat from this figure and put them in those hands, but that, you know, I can't say anything else about this figure. I'm out of it. So, you know what? I'm going to have to give this one a thumbs down. I say it's a pass. You know, for other people, he may be satisfying, but to me, it just does not hit any marks in the right direction for me. This is a step back for Playmates Toys. They need to try again on Casey Jones with the next wave. Give us something worth buying for Casey Jones. And for God's sakes, don't cover up his face most of the time. I mean, look at this. 50% of his face is missing. It's in there, you just can't see it. There's no way that I can actually zoom in on this because you're not really going to see it that well because of how dark it is. So unfortunately, this figure is a bust. We'll try again with Robug in the next video review. Questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave it down below in the comments section. And this is the one and only Sonic Ranger signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you whenever you see me. But you're not going to see this figure again because it's just not worth the buy. It's not worth the time of reviewing, but that's just my opinion. And my opinion is just that. My opinion.